We filed 2,250 complaints from civil society organizations regarding human and anti-human rights crimes committed by our enemies, including the Minab school incident and the destruction of our civilizational and cultural heritage. Our enemies lack such a heritage, so they cannot grasp how painful its destruction is for a deep-rooted nation.
As Trump dismisses Iran's ceasefire proposal response as garbage, is Tehran now trying to flip the narrative by pushing its own war crimes dossier into the global spotlight? Is Iran's leadership using this moment to expose what it calls American-Israeli war crimes to the whole world, turning battlefield losses into a legal and moral counteroffensive? When Tehran announces 2,250 war crime complaints against Tel Aviv and Washington, is it signaling that the next phase of this conflict will be fought in courts and global opinion, not just in the skies? As Iranian officials decry the Minab school strike and speak of civilizational heritage lost, are they betting that emotional images of damaged culture and classrooms will hit harder than missile statistics? And when Mojtaba Khamenei's aide says Iran's enemies lack such heritage, is he mocking Trump personally while framing the US and Israel as too rootless to even understand what they have destroyed? All this unfolds as Iran warns it is more ready for war now than when the conflict began, raising the question, is this legal barrage a prelude to fresh escalation or a bid to freeze the front?
In terms of security and the readiness of our armed forces, we can confidently say our preparedness is far greater now than it was at the beginning of the Ramadan war. We are fully prepared in all areas. We are ready for war, to support the fighters, and to maintain our presence on the streets. As the respected First Vice President has said, the government stands with all its might beside the people, for both defense and construction. Our country has unparalleled capacity. Given the authorities vested in our governors, we have no concerns about supplying essential goods. We have robust measures in place to counter the actions our enemies are taking, which we consider piracy in international waters. With God's help, we will neutralize those actions and stand with the people through these circumstances. We filed 2,250 complaints from civil society organizations regarding human and anti-human rights crimes committed by our enemies, including the Minab school incident and the destruction of our civilizational and cultural heritage. Our enemies lack such a heritage, so they cannot grasp how painful its destruction is for a deep-rooted nation. We also worked with environmental organizations, the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. With civil society at the center, we secured a special session of the UN Human Rights Council, where, for the first time, these crimes were condemned by a decisive vote. Protest is the right of the people, but everyone knows that the people will never be allowed to have their protests misused and turn into riots. A plan to organize protests was already in progress and under review in Parliament. It is a good plan, but we have since encountered a war. We hope to finalize it as soon as possible so we can create safe spaces across the country, where people have both security and the opportunity to express their concerns. Within the law, they can go to these places, speak their minds, be heard by officials, and have their demands summarized and reflected. This is one of the main goals of the Ministry of Interior.